Hi guys. Why game journalists? Game journalists? Seriously? Seriously, why are they game journalists? Uh Seriously, I got like fucking this Polygon never ceases to astound their retardation and the cancerous pieces of shit people that they hire at Polygon. By Max Schwerin, I don't know, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his surname properly. Games make quitters of us all, and that's okay. You don't have to finish a game to understand it. Right there, I call fucking bullshit on that. You're a game journalist. If you're reviewing or having an opinion on a game, you, as a game journalist, it is your job to complete the game from beginning to end. The main story, you have to complete it till the credits roll. That is when you fucking complete the game, and that is when you can fully understand the game. Prepare to laugh your ass off at this game journalist, Max Schwerin. I never got Geralt past Novigrad. I assume he's talking about Witcher 3. I've not played Witcher 3. Or stopped the Joker's evil plan. Was it Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins? Those games were pretty easy. Once you took the time to learn the free flow combat system in the Arkham games, you get into the rhythm, like, oh, dodge it, jump over that guy, cape stun that, start a beat down. Oh, but and because the enemies have like a little spider sense, like zigzags above their heads when they're about to attack, so that allows you as the player to know, oh, press the counter button, and you start building this free flow combat up, and you eventually get into the rhythm of the fight, and then you start using the quick flow quick use gadgets, so you can throw a batarang, or you can use the bat claw and then pull them towards you and clothesline them, or use your explosive gel, and that blows once a crowd gets around and it blows up. Really fucking easy. So I don't know how you didn't get round to not completing any of the Arkham games. Frustrated ambitions are the norm in the save files on my PS4. Well, lucky you for having a PS4. That you get one free by Sony. I can't afford a PlayStation. Seriously, this is what pisses me off, right? I don't particularly like to sort of delve into my personal life, but I'm fucking struggling. Me and my wife, we are struggling. My chronic pain and my disability prevents me from being able to do a normal 9 to 5 days a week job. I had to resign from my job when I was paralysed and taken to hospital. Few people already know about this story. Like the Switchpoint, Crumple and Nerd Waffle, those guys know. A few other people who, regular viewers of my content on my channel, know about this. But I'm fucking struggling. It irritates me that I would love to be able to do this. To be a game journalist. And I try to do that with my YouTube content. I give my opinions on games, and we host the Flat Pack show every Tuesday, 11 p.m. GMT. And even I did an interview with Lars from 1047 Games, Wormhole Wars developer. I reached out to him and we did an interview. Check that video out, by the way. I'm trying to do with the best of my ability, to the best of the money and resources and equipment that I have available. But we're struggling. I am fucking desperate, but I'm fucking trying my best. But these game journalists just whack out one shitty little article. PS4 that I got for free from Sony. Fuck you, I can't even afford a PS4. I can't afford anything. Karat is engulfed by chaos. I completed Far Cry 4 recently. It's not that hard a game. Really isn't. My hunter is lost in Yarman. Yarnam. I don't know what that is. Is that Monster Hunter World? And the usurper Delilah still sits on Dunwall's throne. Dishonored 2 is referencing. I've not played that, but the first one was pretty easy, and I was playing on the hardest difficulty. Completed it fairly easily. Seriously, these games are not particularly hard. They're not hard at all. Non-player characters must be panicked, but I can't say for sure. I quit almost every game before I finish it. Then how do you, Max Schwerin, have... How can you write articles and have opinions on games? You have half-baked opinions. Quitting games is the dirty secret of playing them. No, it's not the dirty secret of playing. You couldn't complete a Bioshock game, but stop 3/4 of the, or halfway, or not even halfway, on the halfway point. You're missing out on what the game developer intended for you to play and experience. The narrative unfolding before you. You couldn't do that with a book or a movie. I did a video. What was it, back in October? When John Walker from Rock Paper Shotgun said, "Can we get a boss skip button, please?" No, you can't. You don't get the easy. And now they want... now game journalists are basically saying, trying to come up with excuses for, yeah, we're not going to complete games all the way through. Well, they did that with Nioh. They didn't complete that game, Nioh. They didn't review it because they didn't complete it. They were, "Oh, it's too fucking hard." So he's saying, quitting games the dirty secret of playing them. It is. I'm convinced. The most universal gaming experience. No, it's not. The problem is oversupply. Too many games with too much hype are hitting the digital shelves annually, and we can't finish them all. Or you get them for free. You get your free review copies. Even for the and underemployed, demos in which I've done my time, the days are just not long enough. And yet collectively we keep buying more entertainment than we could possibly play. And that's the problem with Steam sales and stuff. Oh, I don't... Open world games often contain hundreds of hours of quests. Even comparatively short campaigns boast lengths of 10 to 15 hours. 10 to 15 hours, that's nice for quite a linear narrative driven game. 10 to 15 hours, pretty decent time. More and more games are being sold as a service, offering gameplay that may continue indefinitely. So like your PUBG, your Battle Royales, your multiplayer only games. It's hard not to get caught up in the never-ending pipeline. Games zip through the zeitgeist, constantly snatching our attention, our interest. It can be tempting to interrupt whatever we're playing for the next thing, then the next. Well, that's the... Well, so many games are released, but obviously certain gamers have certain interest in certain genres or certain game types. So you don't have to play every single game. And we often seem okay with that. We walk away from unexplored levels and unattained objectives without a second thought, only paying lip service to our vague sense of shame. So you're talking for yourself, you're not talking for every other gamer, ever. I'm quite a completionist, I'm quite a 100% kind of person, got 100% it. Which means that either video game marketing is making fools of us with its hype machines duping us quarterly, or our enjoyment of games has nothing to do with finishing them. I may be biased as a serial quitter, but I believe the second explanation. It's time to stop seeing the act of finishing each game as the ultimate goal. Just like, how are you fucking game journalists? By finishing the story, that is finishing the game. Sure, if you want to complete the game, 100% a game. But finishing a game, you have to complete the story from start to finish. It's an odd paradox, but it's true. No, it's not. You don't need to finish a game to have fully played it. Yes, you do. Max Schwerin, you're wrong. Of course, that's counterintuitive for a number of reasons. We're talking about a medium premised on the very idea of victory. Exactly. Overcoming obstacles and challenges. We want to value our completion, not just resolution. If you get bored of a TV show and stop watching it, you forego the gratification of narrative closure. It's exactly the same with games then, isn't it? If you stop playing, you forego the gratification of narrative closure. You can use that sentence in that way as well. If you quit a game without beating it, the loss is more literal. You have elected to fail. Kind of reminds me what Crumble Point has brought up on one of the Flatpack episodes. If you stop playing Dark Souls, it's quite meta in that way that if you stop playing Dark Souls, you are allowing your character to become hollow. To become a hollow. To become undead. He's an intelligent bloke, isn't he? Hey, you're right there, laddie. At the same time, video games belong to their own category. We treat them differently from any other art or entertainment. If you tell someone you've read a novel when only read half, you're rolling the dice and you know it. You didn't read that book. And it's exactly the same with if you fall asleep for a movie. You invalidate the experience of seeing it. You can't really have a serious opinion on either work of art without attaching major caveats. But it's exactly the same with a game then. Most games now are heavily narrative driven experiences. But he goes on to say, I don't care if it's a he or she, fuck. But if you play just 5 hours of Far Cry 5, you will likely understand what the whole game is about, warts and all. No. The game is a heavily fucking... How are you a fucking game journalist, man? Seriously, how the fuck? It pisses me off that you are fucking paid to write this drivel. If someone were to ask for your opinion on it, giving one wouldn't seem so out of place. They'd be like, so what's the story like? Oh, I don't know, I only played 5 hours of it. Seriously, go back and watch my Bosket button video I did as well. It's essentially the same. They're arguing the same. It's the same wording. It's exactly the same. It's the same attitude, same mentality. Clearly, gamers share some kind of cultural agreement that beating a video game, especially a big one, doesn't really matter. If someone asks us if we've played something, it's usually not to question whether we've finished it. Yes, beating a game does matter. You have to expect... He goes on to say about sort of big MMORPGs like Warcraft, EVE Online, and then you've got Sea of Thieves. Yes, they're not sort of as much narrative driven. I'm not going to read this entire article. Like saying about BioWare was forced to by fans to release an extended cut for Mass Effect 3's infamous ending. I seriously need to play the trilogy. I need to, but not Mass Effect Andromeda. My face is tired. By and large, modern games don't execute endings well. Yes, they do. Like most modern games have been. Like, there's been some really. Spec Ops: The Line, for instance. I'm not going to spoil that game. Seriously, go play it. I'm going to have to do a let's play of that as well, sort of like a retrospective look back on it. Gave up on GTA 5 because it railroaded Michael, Trevor and Franklin into a long story mission that I kept botching and couldn't ignore. I quit Arkham Asylum because of its dinky ass detective work, which constantly hampered my flow. Bitch, the detective work was awesome in the especially Arkham Asylum. They were great detective work. You had to find either little Riddler trophies, there were literal sort of trophies that he'd created, or he'd paste painted question marks, and you had to get into a certain perspective, and he would, when you'd enter this room and you didn't know where this question mark was, he'd give you a little riddle, a little clue, and he goes and say some thing, and you then had to, you know, scour the environment to find, oh, how do I get up here, or how do I get there, and then you'd use the detective mode and you'd see this neon green, and you'd have to get into the right area and then press and hold the detective mode, detective vision, and it would, and if you had lined the question mark up right, and you'd win that riddle. Or sometimes he'd say riddles and you'd have to look at a certain object that he was referring to in his riddle, and like you have to really think outside the box. The Fallout games are just too big for you, and the Soul titles too exhausting. It's just like Dark Souls. Fuck off, man. Jesus Christ. But in each one, I found a reason to be interested, an experience worth remembering. I don't feel like the game failed me, and I certainly don't feel like I failed the game. You failed yourself, and you failed being a game journalist, because you can't finish games. Because why are you a fucking game journalist? What, do you want to be working for Huffington Post or the Washington Times or the Guardian or whatever, to be writing the hard-hitting, bashing Trump? Fucking hell, man. This past week I've read more about God of War's vaunted axe mechanics, and he spells axe AX and not with an E. That's how you spell axe. Than I have about its story, having not yet played a minute of it. The story is easy for me to imagine, the weight of legacy, lineage, and the hopes and burdens that travel from father to son, because that's what you've read from your incestuous fellow game journalists. All your sites are incestuous as fuck, aren't you? But the axe, in its way, might come closer to summarising the gameplay. I can imagine quitting God of War when I get tired of throwing the axe. It would be, seriously, he doesn't. He says axe numerous times without. It's AXE, that's how you spell an axe, right? How many times does he spell it wrong? 1, 2, 3. 3 times. 3 times. It would be as petty as any reason for quitting a game, but it would also be equal and opposite to the reason I started playing in the first place. We need to embrace gaming's ability to provide experience that let us walk away whenever we want and still feel like we got our money's worth. No other art form provides the same amount of flexibility in consumption. Yeah, but when you're like consumers, that's fine. It's their money. They're paying for the game. They can give up whenever they want. Like, okay, I'm trading this in, or well, don't feel like playing this anymore. But you, as a game journalist, you're a game journalist. That's all I gotta fucking say. You're a game journalist. You can't. How can you write fully informed articles and opinion pieces? You literally write dog shit, blah, coming out your mouth. It's horse shit. You got cow shit. It's bullshit coming out of your mouths. This will be the title of the Polygon's bullshit. They say quitters never win, but in gaming things aren't so clear. The virtual world makes quitters of us all. Yeah, maybe you should quit fucking being a game journalist. That may be something to celebrate. No, really should not be something to say. Literally, this is what John Walker at Rock Paper Shotgun wrote in his Bosket Button article. He wrote, "Oh, I don't mind if they had a Bosket Button, and it should be celebrated. Let in the riffraff. Fuck you, cunt." Sorry for swearing so much. Oh, Flattmeister and his garbage mouth. Seriously, how is he a game journalist? Like, there was some sort of filler. There was filler paragraphs in this article that I didn't bother reading in the video. I'm not gonna bother. Has he only written 2 articles for Polygon in his time? Joined January 16th, 2018. So he's a newbie. Who the fuck is this Max Schwerin? Who the fuck is this person? How can a retard work in the gaming industry? So he's worked for Medium. I told you, it's fucking incestuous as hell. You work for Polygon, Vice, Waypoint, Kotaku, Guardian. They're all incestuous. It's a guy, Max Schwerin, who also worked for Medium, writing a piece about Leisure Suit Larry. Boggles my mind how these... It absolutely boggles my mind. It's just a bunch of bullshit opinion pieces that he's written for Medium. Seriously, how the fuck? How the fuck are these game journalists? How are they game journalists? Like I said, I would fucking... If my... I've not been having a good week with the pain. I would love to do this job. Well, I do. I do love doing this job. Being on YouTube, about gaming news, bringing you entertaining news in an entertaining way from Flattmeister. We do the Flat Pack show as a community, the Comicsgate community, the writing community with fictional books or works of fiction, whether it be in comic books, graphic novels, all these creators and artists as well. All these creators coming together. We're all a big community, sort of a positive change, and that's why I like sites independent sites run by gamers and consumers first and foremost. And I always say this: One Angry Gamer, the gaming grounds, True Achievements as well, which I use like for walkthroughs and guides, but they also do like articles as well. That's a community run website. And there's numerous other independent run sites that I'd like people to recommend to me, of getting gaming news. But when you see articles like this come up and you think, what in the actual fuck? Write your comment down below and tell me what you think of Max Schwerin. Do you quit games and think that you've beaten it when you've only played the first chapter? Yeah, I've beaten and finished the game. No, you haven't. You've only completed the first chapter. Go back and play the rest. Oh, fuck me. Have you ever quit a game and thought, yeah, I got my money's worth there, but I'm not going to play anymore? Or do you stay in there till the bitter end and you complete it till the very end? I'd like to hear what you think. So yeah, I'm Flattmeister. I'll catch you in the next video. Also check me out on Twitch. I'm going to try and be active on Twitch more often throughout the week. Obviously, bar Tuesdays when we do the Flat Pack show, 11 PM GMT. Yeah. I'll catch you in the next video. Stay toasty.